Good morning, welcome back to DCC Train Automation. Sorry I haven't been on our channel for a while. It's been extremely busy and a lot going on here, so trying to keep up with the YouTube is for me very hard at the moment. But I thought I'd do a quick video today to tell you about some things that are going on, and hopefully it'll be of interest to you. Some of the things we will be talking about is the Viessmann CarMotion, and there's a few videos on this at the moment, but we'll talk about more about that, some products that we're developing to help the UK market with that. There's also Underground Eric. You might have seen him on YouTube. If not, look him up. The details will be in the description below, and he's got a video he brought out a few weeks ago about the whole system, so hopefully that'll be of interest to you. But we'll look at some other things shortly. Okay guys, so I want to build a demo car system layout. This demo will actually be going in another shop, one of the shops we supply. We're going to use our baseboard, laser cut baseboards, so we've got that. So you'll be able to have a look at the construction of the baseboards, what that involves, and then I'll show you how we'll put the car system onto it. This is the baseboard we're going to make. At the moment I've just got it held together with some masking tape, as you can see. We've given it a little back stand here. We're going to have some laser cut buildings down there that Railway Laser Lines is doing at the moment, so we're going to put them on here as well, but we'll just show you how we put this together. It's only glue and a few screws, so we'll bang this together and go from there. The baseboards are all laser cut in 12mm poplar ply. As you can see, this is 12mm. It gives you rigidity. What we tend to do is joint them, and then we've got these screw holes for some small wood screws. Those don't need to be left in, but we like to put those in so when it's gluing, it holds it firm and sets really nice and square. So we'll go and put some wood glue in here now and show you that. Okay, so I've spread some glue in all of the joints, and now we'll place this one on the top, and that will glue that in, and we'll screw it as well. Now we'll put some screws down. I've also put a couple of clamps on just to hold it. So just go through, sorry for it wobbling, it's sat on top of it. Yeah, so just go down through, put all these screws in, hold that for 5 minutes, go on to the next side. Okay, I'm on the last edge now, so I've glued and screwed all the sides. Now we've got this one top to put on. And just make sure you've got every bit of joint and everything lines up. We've got some little pockets for legs, so if you want a leg on our baseboards, it's quite tight fit. So on the back there's this little pocket for the legs. Okay, so we've got the baseboard all made. Now what we want to do is just have a loop of road on here, and we're going to have a bus stop or a lay-by on this side. So what we've done to try and make life easier and faster is we've created some laser cut roads. So the roads, we're doing all different lengths and sizes. So the straights, we have a range of sizes that we've come up with. So here's all the different lengths. So everything from these ones are 50 mil, 100 mil, 150, and then I think it's 200, 250, and so on and so forth, right up to 750. So you get a massive range of different lengths of these roads. That's a 300, 350. So as you can see, we've got all these different lengths to suit what you're trying to achieve. Now, if there's a length that isn't available and you want to quickly put it together, just let us know and we can laser cut something to suit you. We'll also do a flexi road. So you'll be able to flex it to get like a small sweeping part if you wish. So that's all the straights. And then we have also then done different radiuses of curves. So these are a radius of 12 centimeters, and that's a radius in a radius of 15 centimeters. The 12 centimeter one we've done in quarters or eighths to get a whole way round. Okay, so if you had a whole circuit, there'd be 8 pieces in these, or quarters, there'd be 4 of those. So this is the beginnings of our range of laser cut roads. The idea of this is maybe not for massive layouts, but if you quickly want to put a road together, you can clip them together like that. You can put a straight in, and then once you've laid it down, glued it to your baseboard, you put the magnetic strip in here. That's what the vehicle's going to be following. So if the magnetic strip's there and you put the vehicle on, he'll drive and follow that radius and drive along. So if you wanted to come to the other end and then continue like that, or if you want to go the other way, we could have radiuses that go the other way as well. We haven't done that yet, but we will. So if you wanted to go that way as well. But this range will be on a website quite soon. Hopefully that will make your interest in the hobby faster and easier and quicker to enjoy. So I've now put together a selection of the new components. What we've got here is 2 365mm long straights going into a 12 centimeter radius. These are the quarter ones, sorry. And the 1/8 ones I've used here just to show you the difference, okay? And that works really well. Then over this side, we've decided to put in a junction here, coming into a place to either charge the vehicles. So here we're going to drop in an inductive charger. Okay, so this is the inductive charger for Viessmann CarMotion. So this unit charges the vehicles. So what we're going to have in here is a place the vehicle drives in, stops over the charger. This will charge them. The other cars can pass by. Once this has been there for the desired amount of time you set, it will drive on, come out, and continue along its journey around the road. So that's what we're going to do there. What I've done in the meantime, Viessmann's junction unit isn't out yet. It'll be later in the year. So for now, I've just 3D printed our junction. So this is also made by us. So this will drop in, sorry, wrong way round. This will drop in to that hole there. And then if you wish to switch it, we can switch this digitally via toggle switch. We'll probably have it on a switch here. We'll have the Viessmann switches here, and we can show you how that will switch. As you can see, this drops into our laser cut roads really nicely. It's not actually much below the level, so yes, we will have to cut a hole in the baseboard, but that will drop in, as you can see, into the road section. So the next thing to do would then be to lay all the magnetic tape in, and after that we need to create some road surface. Now Viessmann, one of their brands is Volmer, and Volmer have this selection of road surfaces. So we'll use these to lay out on top of the road and glue it down to give us the impression that it is a road. So this material already has painted on it all of the white lines and everything. So for the quickness of use, we'll be able to lay this down and cover the road. I'll use another piece of this and I will cut it to fit over here, and then we'll blend it in and it will be like a seamless joint. I will then paint out some of the white lines here to create a give way as we have in the UK. But this will go right the way around the layout, and these items are just a great quick way to create a very smooth road surface for the vehicle. There's enough grip so they grip, but also looks really good. Okay, so I've laid out some of the roadway surface. As you can see, very quickly, it looks really great. Gives that amazing look of a road. The other thing we've got to put in first, though, is the magnetic strip. So this is a 5-meter roll. It's self-adhesive, as you can see on the back. So we'll peel that back, and then we can lay it down in this strip, in this groove here. Quick way to make your roads. So we can lay that down on there, and then that's what the vehicle will then drive around and follow. Okay, so overnight I had a bit of a think about the laser cut roads, and I had a thought about the trailer units. Now with the trailer, when it goes around the corner, the tail of the trailer doesn't stay behind the tractor unit. It's going to overlap, isn't it? So that's going to cut the corner, and then when you go round the other way, it will also cut the corner on the other side. So then, if a truck's coming this way, on that radius, it's going to collide. So this isn't going to work. So, quickly decided to re-laser cut these corners with a secondary strip slot right out here. Because then what will happen is the truck's out here, the trailer then sits, yes, still tight to the centre, but on the centre, so this truck can miss and that truck won't hit this truck. So we now have a perfect solution for the corners. So when laying the magnetic strip down, which is the next job we were going to do, we can now lay this magnetic strip in that secondary slot here, and then that vehicle will follow that slot. Now you could go to the extent of actually creating routes. So the Arctics and the trailer trucks use that magnetic strip, and the cars and the other vehicles follow the normal radius. Doesn't really seem any point to me. For the amount of difference it is, you can either choose this strip or that strip depending on your road system and the vehicles you are using. So if you're not using lorries with trailers, you can use the original strip. If you are using them, we can use the outer strip. So that's what I'm laser cutting at the moment, just to prove the concept. So we'll do that, then we will glue all of this down. So far I have not actually done anything. I have just put a pencil line down the edge of here. So if we were to lift out these sections, we can now see the width of the road. So I'm now going to put some PVA wood glue down there, glue this section down and work my way round. I will swap out the curves for the new ones, and then we'll have all the plywood laser cut streets glued down to our baseboard. So that's my next steps. So what I decided to do is just put some PVA on the back of the laser cut roads, getting in all the little joints. Just make sure you go to the edges to obviously get it to sit down tight, and we'll just work our way down through there. And then as you can see, I've then positioned that and it's gone straight down and it's sticking. Give it a 10 minutes, that'll be really firm. Okay, cover the bottom. We're just gonna slide it in there into position, make sure it's nice and square to the joint, and press it down firmly, and that's that. So now they pass each other. Still quite tight, but it passes quite well, and that's all we need, is it to miss. So that works well, and as you can see, we've now got one slot and two slots. If you wanted to use the original slot, it's still there for you. This does work really well, and it solves our curve problem with the trailers. So that's great. So I just penciled lined around the two new pieces. So now we'll put some glue down, and I will get those set in place. We now have all of the laser cut road glued down. So what we're now going to do is peel back the magnetic strip and put it into the groove. What we have to remember with the magnetic strip is a few things. So say we have a place where we know we want to end the magnetic strip because there's an inductive charger dropping into there. What we should do is drill a 3mm hole in through the board and tuck the end of the magnetic strip down into the hole. Just gives it a nice pull of the magnet down, and it's smooth the transition into the new feature. So anywhere the end of the tape ends, tuck it into a hole. So just thinking about this, the magnetic strip comes in 1-meter long lengths. So I want to have as much as I can a constant magnetic strip around the corner. So I'm going to start it just before the corner. So I'm going to drill a hole where I want it to start. So this is a 3mm hole. Now I'm going to tuck the end of the strip into that hole, like so. And then I'm going to get rid of the dust in a minute, and then I'm going to start moving it around there consistently. So I've tucked the end in, and I'm just peeling back the self-adhesive as I go, making sure it goes smoothly into the groove. And just work my way round until I come near to the end of the strip, and then I drill another hole and tuck the magnetic strip into that hole again. So we just rinse and repeat that whole job until we have got all the way around the roads. By having the hole, you'll see it's a nice smooth transition. So if we were to have a strip coming back towards you, then I'd tuck in that hole and continue. It'll make it really, really good. So here we go, tucking it in the hole. It makes a beautiful transition, see? Just like that. And then I put another hole and start the next strip off. As you can see now, that is really smoothly put down into the road all the way around. Okay, so the first circuit of the magnetic strip is applied into the hole, the groove, sorry, and I have made a joint here. It is very hard to see, but there is a joint. So that's where it's tucked into the hole where two pieces end. So you've got that arrangement. So as you can see, that works very well. So we're happy. Now what we can do is we can put a vehicle on to test this before we put the road surface on. If I can find the starting gizmo. So we turn it on with the hall sensor in the roof. Now I hadn't been driving this last time I stopped it, so I have to speed it up, and then that should go around our road really well, so we can test to see if there's any bumps. If there's any bumps, we can sort it out. There shouldn't be. And as you see, it works extremely well. So I've used about 2.8 meters to go around there. So this will probably use about 5 meters, which is what's in one of the packs. So I'll use a whole 5 meters for this track here. So we'll use the infrared to slow it down. And it'll stop. You'll also see I've added in an extra bit in the inside of the curve here. The reason I've done that is, again, coming back to our lorries. When the lorries are driving, they cut the corner, as we've said before. So what I wanted to do is just to keep the wheels on the road. So as you can see, it doesn't cut it a lot, but it cuts it enough to come off the width of the 80mm of road. Okay, so I've just extended it out just a little bit to allow the lorry to come round. As you can see, that one's going round. There we go. So that now didn't fall off the road at all because of this inner strip. I'll do a laser cut pavement or road edge or something like that there. So as you can see, already quite a bit of fun, even though we haven't relayed the roads. So if we put the road surface down after we put the magnetic strip, that will be the next step. Now, obviously this road, they're just running around and around and around. They're not doing anything but that. You may wish to start, stop, slow down the vehicles as they're driving along. So we can use the magnetic set 8430, and this is 12 magnets. Okay, this does come in the starter set with the vehicle. So if you buy a vehicle starter set, you will get these magnets. And these magnets are very useful. So underneath the vehicle, there's a hall sensor on the right-hand side. Okay, and the hall sensor picks up the pulses from the magnets. So it gets a north pulse, it will do something, a south pulse, it will do something else. And we have to place those magnets just off the magnetic strip. So if we were coming into a corner and we wished for this to slow down, we can put a message of a south pole of a magnet just before the corner, and as the vehicle goes over that, it will brake, the brake lights will come on, and then it will slow down around the corner for X amount of distance and then start to speed up again. So it might be worth us just putting in a magnet just before the corners to slow them down. And that's how we could start to create automation with the vehicles without using anything but the magnets and the vehicles. So you can achieve all this from the starter set to get the vehicles to do different things. Now the vehicles won't just slow and stop, you can slow to a speed limit, and you can tailor this in the software, and I'll show you that in another video. But that's all really useful. So for example, in the starter pack, it gives you some illustrations of what those magnetic sequences are. So this one is south, north, north. So that puts the right blinker on. But you'll also notice there's a distance here between them. That is very critical to create this sequence into work. And I'll also talk about that in a later video. Now, if you just put a north magnet in here, let's say, that vehicle would go over that and stop dead. That doesn't mean it won't ever start again. So the vehicles can be programmed in the car manager. So you plug the vehicle into your PC and open up the Viessmann CarMotion software. And in there, you can tell each individual vehicle how to react to different signals from the magnets. Now, this is all done very easily. And again, in another later video, I'll show you that. But for now, I just want to show you how to get the roads laid and the basics working, okay? So we will put in a couple of magnets. So I'm going to drill a hole here to slow the vehicles down. I like them slow down. So I'd probably have them running a little faster than this. So if we speed them up, as you can see, if they're going around at this speed now, it's nothing wrong with it. But as you go in the corner, it might be a bit erratic for certain vehicles. So it might be nice to just slow them down around the corner, and then down the straight, they speed up again. So it gives it a bit of variety. And we are meant to slow down round corners, so let's try and achieve that in our model as well. So hopefully you can see that the wheels are running. Now there's a hall sensor just behind the charge socket here. So if I put the magnet across it, you'll see that they slow down the wheels. The brake lights came on. I'll let it speed up and I'll show you that again. So now you see it's speeding up again. The brake lights come on and it slows down. So that's the south pole. Now let's try and see if I get the north pole. There we go. And did you see that? The wheels stopped dead. So I know that the face of that magnet's now got to sit to the sky. So we've now got to mount that like that. So when the vehicle goes over at this position, it will slow the vehicle down. So I'm going to put that in now. Okay, so I've now mounted the magnet just in here. just as it's going into the corner. So at the moment the vehicle's not moving. So if we use the infrared controller, I speed it up. Hopefully as it goes over the magnets, the brake lights come on. It did, and it slows around the corner. So after an amount of time, you'll notice that the vehicle will speed up again, literally just as it's going out of the corner. So that's great. That's what I was hoping to achieve. And this will do the same. The brake lights come on and they both slow. So now we've achieved that. So every time it drives into this corner now, it will slow down. There we go. So that's the effect I'm just going to use on this as it goes around corners, just to achieve this slowing down and speeding up effect. This is just one of many, but we'll start with this and tell me what you think. Any comments on any of my videos are much welcomed, and please give a thumb. So I've laid the 2 magnetic strips for the 2 loops so far, and just testing the outer loop now, and that's working very well, as you can see. I've also got it slowing into this corner, so he slows down. And I think the default slowdown is 30 miles at 230 kilometers an hour. And as you can see, that works splendidly. Then they speed up out of the corner. I have no slow on this far corner. That might be a sensible thing to put in, because if I drive the vehicles the other way now, he goes round, he misses the vehicle now. And he comes along. This one will slow into this corner, but the other one doesn't. So we probably want to slow that one down as well, I would have said. So we're going to put another magnet in over here, and then that will be ready to put the road cover over. So we'll then lay this and glue that down on top. So I've glued the first bit down. Now I'll just carry on gluing round the corner. I'll just put a thin layer of PVA just to hold it. It seems to glue quite quick, to be fair. Obviously that's going to cover up the magnet now that's in and other things, but no, once it's glued down, we'll show you it running. Okay, so the road surface I've just laid down. On this section, this isn't glued, but the rest is. So this is, I haven't glued because I want to put the intersection servo in there. So put our servo in here, just to finish that off. But yeah, it's looks really good. I'm going to adjust this so it doesn't slow down so much. I think the speed it drops to is actually too much. So if you watch it go around the corner, it's dramatic. It's not a little bit. So I can adjust that in the car manager settings. So we'll look at that another day. So this was the road surface we used. And yeah, it looks really, really good.